2018PDWC 高校生パーラメンタリーディベート世界交流大会。今年1月、埼玉県熊谷市に日本を含め世界13カ国24校の高校生が集まりました。この大会は日本の高校生と多様な文化背景を持つ海外の高校生たちがその場で与えられたテーマに対して英語で意見を主張し合い、これからのグローバル社会で活躍できる能力を身につけ、一生涯の友情を育む機会を提供することを目的としています。
いよいよ始まりました。これから大変です。頑張ります。
See you. Hello.
Namaste everyone.
Shalom. Bonjour.
Hello, we're from Nigeria.
Hello.
Good day from Australia.
Hello.
Kia ora. We're to New Zealand. Hello.
Hi.
Hello, I'm Yossi.
My name is Rika. Rika.
Hello, I'm Yossi.
堺東高等学校です。頑張るぞ。
岡山学芸館高校から来ました。
頑張ります。
渋谷教育学園渋谷高等学校です。頑張ります。
頑張ります。笠原高校です。頑張るぞ。
埼玉県立浦和高校です。せーの。
頑張るぞ。
国際情報高校。せーの。
頑張るぞ。
倉木根国際高等学校から来ました。
頑張るぞ。
京都市立日吉川高校です。優勝するぞ。
立教池袋高等学校。
頑張るぞ。宮崎から来ました宮崎第一高校です。
頑張ります。
愛知県立旭ヶ丘高校です。せーの。
頑張るぞ。
神戸市立吹合高等学校。せーの。頑張るぜ。
待って頑張るでいいやんな。頑張るでいいやんな。
なんだろう。美味しかったこれ。先生。
この大会では毎回テーマを決めております。それで今回は未来への挑戦といたしました。
And this time the theme is Challenge the Future.
私は3年前に未来を背負う海外、そして日本の子どもたちは平和について何を考えているのか、そして自分の国の文化を守るために何を考えているのか、とても興味がありました。
3 years ago, I was very, very interested in what young people are thinking about in terms of creating peace in the world and protecting their own cultures.
これから始まるディベート大会、そしてそれからの交流会、貴重な時間として皆さんの心に残ることを私は希望いたします。
My desire is that all of you will take the memories from your experiences of this debate competition and the friendship events that follow afterwards through the rest of your lives.
そして最後に、あなたたちは一番素晴らしいことに多くの時間を持っているということです。この時間を限りなく有意義に使ってほしいと思います。
And finally, I want to ask all of you to make the most of the time that you have here and to really enjoy it and use it to the best of your ability.
将来を担う多くの高校生たちにとって世界で活躍するきっかけとなり、グローバルな人材育成の一助となっているものと存じます。
近年、平和で明るい世界が揺らいでいる、そんな映像や報道を目にします。
I'm going to talk a little bit not about. I'll be speaking later about how we achieve world peace from today on. But I'm going to speak a little bit now about DebateMate and why I set it up.
Big smiles. Hi guys. I smile, big, big, big smile. Hi, Timothy.
Without further ado, please welcome to the stage, give them a drum roll, the debaters!
ディベートは英国のディベートメイトの協力をいただき、大会期間中本国から世界トップクラスのディベーターをジャッジとして招き、ディベートの審査を行い、ワールドクラスのディベートを行います。ディベートは2日間、全24校によるトーナメント形式で行われ、優勝校を決定します。まずはミックスディベート。
So the motion for the friendly mixed debate is this House believes that war is never justified.
Because we are opposite.
Share your story of your life, whatever you want to do.
We can take Germany for example, because they want to like the whole deportation.
What's the time?
Field and all of that. So maybe we can talk about that because France was, I mean not France, but Great Britain was against it.
It's crazy Star Wars.
At least one, just to be showing that they're engaging with the other team. As you get to...
Civil war is still a civil war, but that's inside the country, so we should...
I guess we can define it with two countries fighting this power. Yeah, because...
What are you thinking now about them say what together?
Okay, what about you? Which one do you want to take? Okay, I'm the third.
And then you can speak to us, yeah, so you do the summary.
Okay, and then I add small arguments.
Thank you, Chairperson. My name is Hiroaki. I'll do rebuttal first. They said they can negotiate to do consequence as a result of consequence. But we believe it's not a good idea because North Korea can't negotiate with Japan. Utilitarian way of thinking is the best. Why this is important? Let me tell you about my third argument. First, utilitarianism. Second, defend ourselves. Third, human rights. For example, America attacked Iraq. In the Iraq War, this war was happened based on this utilitarianism. What's your previous point of information?
So my question is, are you aware of the reason why U.S. attacked Iran is? Can you repeat?
U.S. attacked Iran. It is based on utilitarianism. This idea is based on majority. Majority is the best. So we have our stance is to help more people is the best choice for us.
Second point is that there are many ways to solve the
program.
Other countries' people have to go vote.
Which means audience members can ask either side, why does your side guarantee a better world? Okay?
So like the tragedy of it was my people became like radioactivated, so they suffered a lot.
Peace, and everybody has to laugh, I think.
And do crazy stuff to our hair and makeup.
This is pretty cool, no?
Lapelling for them, we can get close to each other.
This was the first source of drinking water for the people that settled here in Cedartown.
Yesterday we left Matsushima and then it erupted.
いよいよ24校によるディベートが始まります。
The tech is ready. Here comes the draw for round one, PDWC 2018. In area 2 with Amara.
This house believes that every country should have a compulsory 1-year national service for all 18-year-olds.
I will now define what we believe a national or public service is, whether it be as little as helping them across the street or as big as building a house in the community.
The present situation, the status quo that exists, is that more people are volunteering. There is more understanding of volunteer work.
It's only for a year, so
We've defined the motion in the first place that every people can still continue. And I'm gonna solve it.
Yeah. Do you not think taking away the freedom of the people is one of the problems within a nation?
So no, not only freedom. Yes, they have freedom, but we have also given so many rights, and we have asked them only one thing.
Opposition point to say that it is bad to force
that 18-year-olds do not benefit from this because all they're getting is restrictions, whereas in reality they need to be given flexibility.
Now, National Youth Service Corps actually just teaches you how to be a leader, how to be confident, like me.
Okay, so well done everyone. I had the pleasure of watching one of the debates in the semi-finals.
Of PDWC this year is, drumroll please, the team in proposition.
So congratulations to Kobe for progressing to their semi-final. Now it gives me great pleasure to announce the team progressing from the semi-final in the other room, which was an equally high quality debate. Congratulations to the team from Scotland St Mungo's Academy.
Parliamentary Debate World Conference and Competition 2018. Are you excited? Are you so excited that for a minute you can turn your Wi-Fi off? So representing Japan, from Kobe Fuki High School, please welcome the proposition. Of Glasgow in the United Kingdom of Great Britain and Northern Ireland, representing St Mungo's Academy, a debate mate school. Please give it up for St Mungo's, Ethan, Michaela and Maria.
ここからは決勝の模様をノーカットでご覧ください。
So the only thing left to announce is the motion, and the motion, the wording has changed slightly from the slide earlier, but the debate is exactly the same. The motion is this House believes that development aid should only be given to countries that develop in a sustainable way. this House believes that development aid should only be given to countries that develop in a sustainable way. Reminder, we have proposition arguing, opposition arguing against. So it gives me great pleasure to welcome to the stage, to open the case for his side. His favourite celebrity is Ichiro, and his name is Soma. Give it up for Soma.
So thank you, Chairperson. Hello, everyone. My name is Soma, and I'm the first speaker of the proposition side. Today's topic is, this House believes that development aid should only be given to countries that do develop in a sustainable way. So I will mention about the motion, the definition, and after that I introduce my points. So first definition about sustainable way. The development in a sustainable way means the country which has proper system which don't damage nature so that they can protect the environment as much as possible. One example is that the country which establishing a law which aims to strictly reducing the emission of CO2. And as for development aid means money and supply in order to support countries in need, disparate need, like poverty and welfare. This doesn't include humanity aid, like supply and medicine, in the case of the emergency, like tsunami. So I'll introduce my point. My point is encouragement for countries to be sustainable. By having the system which provide development aid only to countries with sustainable development, we can make a difference between countries with sustainable way and countries which doesn't have sustainable development. Everyone knows that sustainable development is very important, right? However, some countries refuse having a sustainable way of development. This is why there is less clear benefit for the top of the government. Development, because if we accept and introduce sustainable development, the development speed might be decreased, right? So that's the negative point of sustainable development. However, so this is why such a system will be desperately needed, which allows every single country to be sustainable. By having a difference between two types of countries, the more and more countries will be sustainable, and the environment of the whole planet will be improved. And also, relationship between providing country.
Yes. How can you make countries more sustainable if you're not giving them the development aid required to do so?
So you mean the country who doesn't accept a sustainable way of development?
A country that isn't sustainably developing.
This is why we won't give money. We won't develop aid to those countries. So by having those systems, we can have relationship between providing country and accepting country. That I mean about development aid, and they even can deepen their relationship, and they can improve their technological relationship, and technological collaboration aims to become much sustainable. So I mean, for this reason, I'm very proud of proposing this proposition. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Soma, for that great opening speech. And now we cross the floor for the first time to hear from the leader of the opposition, all the way from Glasgow. His favourite celebrity is Bon Jovi, and his name is Ethan. Give it up for Ethan.
Hello. So hi, I'm Ethan, and I'm I'm speaking on behalf of the opposition on the motion that this House believes that development aid should only be given to countries that do develop in a sustainable way. Now, before I go on to my 2 points, I'm going to go over a few of the points made by the proposition and basically go over their speech. So, one of the first points made was that countries that emit CO2, like emissions of a strong amount, will not be provided development aid. Now, what about nations that need to emit CO2 emissions? What about nations that are unable to use renewable energy because it's too expensive, and the only way they can provide power to their people is through things that release CO2 emissions? You're acting against the countries that have no money and the countries that are desperate and can only resort to ways which may harm people, which shows that they do need development aid. Also, if you only give development aid to countries that are already sustainably developing, and as you said, create links with them and support each other, are you not excluding these poorer countries that need aid? Are you not excluding these countries that are unable to sustainably develop and further alienate them and make them even more unlikely to sustainably develop to get your help? Now, on to my 2 points. So my first point is those who need aid and those who need development aid are not responsible for the development of the nation. Those people who need these improvements to infrastructure and who need proper help with transport, for example, are not the people making the decision for the nation not to be sustainably developing, because it's the farmers, the miners and the poor who really need this development aid. It's not the politicians and it's not the leaders who are deciding that they're not going to sustainably develop the country. It's those who've got no part in this and only need the help. So don't punish them for their country being politically wrong in the eyes of those giving aid. So, for example, a rural community in a third world country might need drastic improvements to communication, drastic improvements to transport to be able to link and communicate with the country around them. Now, their government might not improve their country in a sustainable way. Does that mean that those people should not be granted access to those around them? Does that mean that those people should not be given the same amount of help that is afforded to everyone else? These people, regardless of what their government believes, are all equally deserving of help, as Michaela will go on to discuss, and really need this help. Therefore, we believe that development aid should include countries which do not sustainably develop, because they are the ones who would benefit, the people are the ones who would benefit, and that is who it's really all about. So my second point is, how does a country develop sustainably if they are not granted development aid? It's in the name, development aid, sustainable development. You need development aid to be able to improve your development and make it sustainable. So a country which is not able to sustainably develop is most likely to not have the economic and the infrastructure to be able to back this. It's impossible for them to do this without the aid. So by not providing them with development aid, you're basically keeping them in that position forever and ever, because they're unable to break out without this aid. So they're trapped in a constant cycle of trying to get aid in order to help them. So for example, Malawi, that was a country that was completely unable to sustainably develop, but when people put development aid into it, improved its schools, improved its transport, and renewable energy has grown exponentially since this development aid began. So this is a real life example of why you should give development aid to countries that are unable to provide it for their own, because they benefit from it, they use it, and it makes them sustainably develop. So of course you're going to want to lure them in using that. So our argument today has shown that development aid is essential to sustainable development, and by punishing those unable to sustainably develop, you are presenting them with an impossible and damning choice which they can't make any way out of. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Ethan. And now I call on the second speaker from the proposition, whose name is John Joe. His favourite celebrity is Albert Einstein. Give it up for John Joe.
Okay, hello everyone. My name is John Joe and I'll be the second speaker. First, let me rebuttal what the opposition's point was. They talked about how some countries need transportation, to develop like transportation and communication, and like people are not making it's not the people's fault. However, they're the ones who get punished. But our argument is talking about we will not supply them with supplies or money, but we will be teaching them techniques of how to be able to sustain their own country. So basically, the point was vague, and they don't benefit because they only have a one-way thinking, and we plan to change that. No, thank you. Now, let me move to our next point. Why should we give development to non-sustainable country? Even if we give them support and fix their current problem, they won't be able to learn to handle it on their own. And even if we fix their problem, another problem would probably come up, and it will only become an endless cycle, and nothing will change. If we do not care about having a sustainable way means that we care for the climate. If we do not care about the climate change will occur. And just like we have already learned in keynote presentation, there would be refugees, and with more refugees, we'll have more burden to carry, and that place will be inhabitable. And I believe that every one of us want to help those countries. However, in order to actually help them, we do not need to give them money or supplies. What we need to do is to help them what we need to do is not to provide them what we need, because to truly learn, for them to be independent, we have to teach them, not provide them with everything. No, thank you. So now, why should we give development aid to countries who have sustainable energy? Just like in office speaker said, they will be more conscious, and they will likely try to become more sustainable. And once they become more sustainable, they will become independent. And once they are sustainable, it would affect the climate change, and it would stop global warming, stop air pollution. And if these problems are stopped, it will be a big benefit to every single one of us in the world. And because now that they are independent, yes?
How do you expect countries that are economically unable to do so put the environment before their people?
Could you repeat that?
So how would you say that countries that are economically unable to do so put the environment and CO2 emissions before their people?
I'll answer that later. So once they are able to develop on their own, they will be able to develop on their own. And this is the world we live in. So, and it is perishing right now. We need everyone to stand up and become eco-friendly. So that's why we strongly agree. Thank you.
Thank you very much, John Joe. And a quick reminder to everyone in the audience that after the next speech, we're going to be coming over to you for your thoughts and your opinions on the matter. It's been a great debate so far. Let's continue in that spirit, and continuing the case for St Mungo's is Michaela, and her favourite celebrity or statesperson is the one and only Nelson Mandela. Give it up for Michaela.
I'll be opposing the motion. This House believes that development aid should only be given to countries that do not develop in a sustainable way. I've got 2 points today. Firstly, I'm going to talk about how everyone deserves help. Secondly, I'm going to talk about how it is morally right to do so. But first, I'm going to rebut on a point that side proposition made. You said that if we take away countries' development aid, they'll learn from it. But if that money is their support, their encouragement to make their countries better. If this is took away, how will they benefit or learn anyway? So my first point, no matter who a person is, what a country is like, or where someone lives, they all deserve the same equal amount of help. Everyone is worthy of the same help. Those who work hard are deserving of this development aid as a reward for all the work and all they give for their country. If developing countries want to make their country even better, how is that so bad? Where a person lives or where a person is from shouldn't influence the same amount of help they get from any other person. For example, if someone lives in your home country but come from somewhere else, you would still help them regardless and give them that same amount of assistance. This Earth is already facing so much crisis. We've seen there in that key speech that Mother Earth is failing due to global warming, climate change. If we start to isolate people due to where they're from, we'll only... if we start isolating them due to what our country is like, or blame them for the opportunities that their country gives them. Yes.
Why would you isolate people?
If you're suggesting to take away a country's development aid, that is isolating them because it's taking away the opportunities their country could give them. So if you start doing that and blame them for opportunities they're given, it only leads to us failing as an environment. We can't start to turn against each other and not help. If we do so, we're destroying society if we don't help one another, which is why development aid should be given to all countries. My second point is how it is morally right. It is the right thing to do in all kinds of situations. It is the right thing to help one another. What are we expected to do as humans? Well, we're expected to help others. We're expected to lend a helping hand when people need it. If someone is suffering and in need of some assistance, it is our natural instinct to reach out and help them. It is normal to do so. Where would these people be without help? Well, there's times where all of us in this room have had to ask for a bit of help. There's nothing wrong in it, but as Ethan said, it is morally right to do so and reach out, and it is important to make other people's rights clear to them. If countries want to use the development aid to build schools with this money, people will benefit, the countries will benefit, it gives people an education. For instance, if countries want to further develop their land, so if they want to further develop their country and reach out to their people, as a society, can't see how that's wrong. So from a young age, we're taught about morals. If we can't put morals into practice, then what is the use in knowing about them? Why do we have morals if we aren't going to use them and help others in their time of need? Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Michaela. And as promised, we're going to come over to you. So Millen and Will have a microphone. I want to hear loads of voices, okay? Okay, does anyone have a question or statement that they'd like to share? Yeah, one at the front, great. If you wouldn't mind standing up, saying your name and your school and then your point.
Hi, I'm again from Shibuya High School, and I have a question for the proposition side. I want you to address this question. If a country that does nothing for sustainable development gains aid, wouldn't countries that actually have good policies be disincentivized in any way?
Okay, thank you very much. I'd like to hear a few more voices, guys. You've been so good the last 2 days. I'm sure you've got opinions on this, whether it's right or wrong to give aid to countries that aren't developing in a particularly sustainable way. Yeah? You're new here, right?
Yeah, hi. My question, I've got two questions, actually. One for the proposition, one for the opposition. For the proposition, do you think it's fair to, effectively kind of blackmail poorer countries into developing sustainably, although Western countries have earned a lot of money and have become incredibly wealthy based on industrialization and being able to pollute the environment and not be sustainable. So do you think it's fair that we're now denying poorer countries the opportunity to develop and be economically successful in the same way that a lot of richer countries are? And to the opposition, climate change affects every single person. We know that in the next 50 years, it's going to be a real problem. And in order to overcome that, it requires collective action. And that means that it isn't just one country who is very good at it. That's not good enough. It needs everyone to be involved in it. So whilst we have to understand that countries do want to grow their economies and they want to industrialise, that isn't sustainable for everyone, and that will lead to lots of people being harmed, as we're seeing now with the effects of climate change. So those are my 2 questions.
Do any teachers want to have a say on this, or anyone from PDWC perhaps? Oh yeah, great, perfect.
Hi, so I've got a question to the proposing side, and my question is, if you stop aiding LEDCs, less economically developed countries, would they stop working towards a better environment? And I think it's going to be a great obstacle to work towards a better environment, and I just want an answer for that. Thank you.
Yeah, right in the front.
My question is for both sides. What's so special about countries having this responsibility? Why can't it be companies and carbon tax, things like that?
Okay, so as you all know, we reversed the order for the summary speeches, so opposition go first, and then we close with the proposition. A quick reminder that speeches are only 3 minutes in length with a single clap at 2 minutes 30 and a double clap at 3 minutes. There won't be any points of information. We'll then come over to the judges who will retire and make their decision. Before that, we have 2 amazing speeches to come. First up, all the way from the East End of Glasgow, representing St Mungo's, her favourite celebrity is Malala Yousafzai, and her name is Maria. Give it up for Maria.
Hi, I'm Maria, and I will be summarising this debate for side proposition by looking at both sides of the argument and concluding as to why my side provided stronger arguments. So firstly, to address some of the floor questions, so we had the question about why are we saying that it's countries that are responsible and not sort of these companies, but the thing is that companies are not responsible for the millions of people that live within places. They don't hold the same amount of responsibility. They should not be held accountable for that. And also to say about the climate change, that climate change is something which is affecting everyone everywhere, but the only way that we can try and solve issues like this is by giving help to those who cannot help currently, and the only reason they cannot help is because they do not have the materials available to do so. So to go over what the proposition said, they were saying that by having a difference between the countries, more countries will be sustainable, but this is an inconceivable idea considering the fact that countries cannot move forward unless they are provided with this development. Countries cannot make this difference unless they are given the help that they need so that they can contribute to the world that we live in, so that they can have the right materials to help us, to help every single person here, and to help everyone in the world. And you said that we can sort of teach them a lesson, but what good is teaching them a lesson if people are in serious danger? We can go about saying we're teaching a lesson, but when the reality is that people are suffering because of this, when people aren't getting the right opportunities, when people are dying because they aren't given the right things that they need, and they aren't given the proper education that we've learned so much about during this time we're here with the UN and everything like that, if we're going against our basic human rights, if we're going against the basic things that make us fundamentally human, then we are not doing our job at all. And if everything is going against each other anyway, we've got the environment, we've got all these things which are posing issues, if we're going to start turning against each other by not helping people who are clearly in need in this world that we live in, then that is not acceptable, and that is not how we are able to sustain a future. And even you said that there'll be an endless cycle if we just keep helping people. That doesn't make sense, because there'll be an endless cycle of people not being able to be helped if we don't actually help them. There'll just be this endless cycle of people repeating and repeating, and these countries which are in need will never get better because they'll never receive the things that they need to make them better. And this isn't just taking away trivial things, this is taking away school and education, this is taking away people's lives, people's opportunities, people's way of living, and this isn't an acceptable thing to do. And so countries will not put the environment before providing for the people if they can't afford to do so. So unless we give people the money that they need to actually provide the help, then they'll never do so. And that is what my side of the house has been arguing, that it is our duty to help, and if we can't put models into practice, what is the point in even learning them? If we can't actually go out there and say that we are helping and doing our responsibility for this earth, then what is the point? And what is the point in punishing people for things that they cannot control if it is out of their control? If we're punishing people based on their geography, then this is not a world that I would like to live in. Thank you.
Okay, thank you very much, Maria. And now we cross the floor for the final time to the summary speaker from Proposition, representing Kobe Fukiai High School. Her favourite celebrity is Ryan Gosling, and her name is Natsumi.
Okay, so hello everyone. I'm the summary of the proposition side, and I'm very happy to be here. And first, I would like to answer some of the questions that came from the audience. Thank you very much. First, there was a question about America is a rich country, but there's non-sustainable, so is it fair to blackmail them? America failed in some points to become sustainable, which is exactly why we want them to not repeat the same. And another question about specifying the teaching. They can be taught how to create with the resources, and this connects with the rebuttal from the opposition side that everyone deserves help, and if they don't get the help, then it's isolation. But this does not mean that we mean that it's only we are only arguing about not giving them money, but teaching them instead. And some countries are unable to be sustainable, but this is why we need to provide the development aids and change the course in a sustainable way. And next, I would like to move on to the most important point. We think that this is not thinking about in a negative way, but in a beneficial way, in a better way for everyone. And the most important point is the most beneficial and good way. If everyone needs help, an environment, and if we help the countries that do develop in a sustainable way, as the first and second speaker clearly explained, we can be independent, and we can improve the situation better, and they can improve that situation by themselves. And if that happens, then they can help each other and help other countries that need help, and this gains a good cycle. And even if everyone needs help, an environment that is better and clean and sustainable comes still strong and is superior. And we clearly argued that the benefit is only lasting and sustainable. And at last, I would like to say something that I said before. If not help those people in need that do develop in a sustainable way, if you give someone a fish, they live for a day, but if you teach them how to fish, they will survive. And this means that it will create a good cycle, and this is how we can create a better life and a better future. And I would like to end my speech. Thank you very much.
Okay, thank you, Natsumi. And I think it's only fair that if we honour both sides, so if you wouldn't mind standing up, guys, give them a massive round of applause. That was awesome. Okay.
さあ、閉会式が始まります。
皆様お疲れ様でした。ありがとうございました。この地球上のすべての人がここに参加した皆さんの力で
So, everyone alive on the planet
幸せと平和を手に入れることができることを願っています。
We desire that because of your efforts into the future, they will all be happy and prosperous. Thank you very much.
I've watched you over the last few days. You came in here as children.
これまで
as adult citizens.
これまでの数日を皆さん見てきました。子供としてこの空間に入ってきたんですけれども、大人として出ていく姿を見ています。
What I want each of you to do before you leave this hotel is to think, each one of you, what your legacy in life will be.
皆さんがこのホテルを離れるまでの間に必ず考えてほしいことがあります。それは自分自身の、人生の生きた証、何残したいかということについてです。
You're not too young to start, so from the get-go, which is now, you decide what your legacy is going to be. It doesn't matter if it changes, if it grows, if it develops, but you must think of yourselves as responsible.
何をこの世に残したいかということについて考えることは決して早くないと思います。これから自分がどういう人生を送りたいかということにも、深く関わることなので、それについてぜひ深く考えてください。
Yeah, you've achieved a great amount this last few days, and you have, as I said, become citizens of your own country, citizens of the world. You've now gone through a rite of passage.
これまでの数日で皆さんはたくさんの経験を経て、たくさん成し遂げていることがあると思うんですけれども、それを通じてある意味通過儀礼を受けていると思ってください。そしてその結果、もう一流市民になっている、地球市民になっている、それをもう自分が得ている、そういう資格を持っていると思ってください。
And just two final words. It's really important that you follow your passion, whatever it is, whether it be science or medicine, or English language or teaching, geology, whatever you want to do, get an education and share it. That's my number one message.
最後に2つのメッセージを皆さんに伝えたいです。1つ目は、パッションです。自分自身が情熱を持ってできることを必ず見つけてください。その内容が音楽であれ、科学であれ、教えること、何であれ、それを見つけてどんどんそれを広げていって、そして他の人と分かち合ってください。それが1つ目。
Never ever be afraid to ask for help.
そして手助けを求めることを絶対に恐れないで、遠慮しないでくださいというのが2つ目です。
But thank you very much. Thanks for making it such a wonderful experience for all the debate night team.
The winner of PDWC 2018 is, can I have a drum roll please? The winners are Semifinal Academy.
2018年の優勝校は英国のセントマンゴズアカデミー高校。準優勝は神戸市立吹合高校でした。おめでとうございます。
This is a personal message from me, and instead of using my own words, I'm borrowing these wonderful two voices, and they're going to pass you a message that was written by a friend of mine who's a poet and was also one of the builders of Facebook. The title of the poem is Can You Love the One Who? And Andrew will be reading it in English, and Yumi will be reading it in Japanese. So let's give them our attention.
There's one in you who's sweet. There's one in you who's mean. Can you love them both? Can you let them both be seen?
あなたの中に優しい人がいる。あなたの中に意地の悪い人がいる。その両方を愛せますか？その両方を見せることができますか？
Can you love the one who tries and love her when she fails? Can you love the one who lies and love the one who wins?
挑戦する人を愛せますか？失敗した時にも彼女を愛せますか？嘘をつく人を愛せますか？泣き叫ぶ人も愛せますか？
Can you love your tears? Can you love your worry? Can you love your darkest fears? Can you love your fury?
自分の涙を愛せますか？自分の心配を愛せますか？自分の暗黒の恐れを愛せますか？自分の怒りを愛せますか？
Can you love indifference and love the one who clings? Can you love the vibrant one and love the one who sings?
自分の冷淡さを愛せますか？執着する人を愛せますか？力強い人を愛せますか？歌う人を愛せますか？
Can you love your addict? Can you love the thief? Can you love your vanity? And can you love your grief?
自分の中毒を愛せますか？執着する人を愛せますか？自分の空気を愛せますか？自分の嘆きを愛せますか？
Can you love your inner child and your body as you age? Can you love your wild side and release her from her cage? Can you love the one who's fulfilled and the one who's not?
自分のインナーチャイルドを愛せますか？年を取っていく自分の体を愛せますか？自分のワイルドな部分を愛せますか？鳥かごから彼女を解き放てますか？満足している自分を愛せますか？そうでない自分を愛せますか？
Can you love the one who's chilled and whose temper's hot? Can you love the weakling and the one who's sometimes sick?
落ち着いている人を愛せますか？その燃えたぎる怒りは？弱い人を愛せますか？時に病気になる人は？
Can you love the warrior who fights through thin and thick?
戦士を愛せますか？どんなことがあろうとも戦い抜く人を？
Can you love your crazy? Can you love your sane? Can you love your foolish heart and your scattered brain?
自分の狂気を愛せますか？自分の正気を愛せますか？自分の愚かな心を愛せますか？自分の散漫な思考を愛せますか？
There's one in you who's bored and one who's often stressed. Can you love them both at once? And she who tries her best.
自分の中に退屈な人がいる。ストレスを感じている人も。両方を同時に愛せますか？ベストを尽くしている彼女も。
If the answer is no to some of the above, then can you love the one in you who's learning how to love?
も しこれらの答えがノーだったとしたら、その時は自分の中の愛し方を学んでいる人を愛せますか？
大会の運営には過去の大会に参加してくれた高校生たちがユースアンバサダーとして海外からお手伝いに加わっています。
This event has changed my life in so many different ways that I still cannot even comprehend, and I'm still so very, very thankful for. And so I just have to extend my most heartfelt gratefulness to Ms. Nakadai and WakuPro and everyone that makes this event possible and so magical, because really everyone here will leave this room knowing exactly what they want to do and know exactly how to make a change in the world. And I really hope that everyone can go back to your respective countries and communities and do that and carry on the message of PDWC this year. So I've loved making sure this event is run smoothly along with this beautiful team, and I really hope we can go into the holiday portion of this and make great friends and go home and carry on the message that is so awesome. Thank you.
Did you have a good time?
ここで作ったお友達、その絆、それは絶対あなたたちにとって生涯一番の宝になると思います。
I think that the friends you've made here, the bonds that you've begun to grow, are going to be the biggest treasures of your lives.
私はこの大会をすごい自分の挑戦だと思っています。
This event itself, for me, is one of my life's biggest challenges.
でも結果を出すのはここにいる皆さんです。
But the results are right here in front of me. They're you.
楽しみにしています。
I'm looking forward to the rest of the time with you.
頑張ってください。
Continue to do your best.
Hi, Mom!
年々素晴らしい学校が入ってきてますので、この大会の意味はつなげるっていう意味だと思いますので、これが一つで終わるんじゃなくて次世代までつなげることがこれからの皆さんの役目だと思います。やはり今グローバルな世界、これにはみんな一緒に巻き込まれていくと思うんですね。それで皆さんをお呼びして日本の子どもたちと一緒に大会やる、これは私はすごい挑戦だったんですね。でもここに集まった子どもたちがみんなその輪をどんどん広げて絆を作り、そしてそれが私の挑戦に対する答えだと思うんですね。だからこの子どもたちのこれからの成果を見ていきたいと思います。それを楽しみにしております。ありがとうございました。
お疲れ様です is Japanese. お疲れ様です doesn't have like English words. お疲れ様です means sharing today's efforts for all of us. Yeah. So let's say お疲れ様です together. Please. 1, 2, 3. お疲れ様です。乾杯。
I can't split it. Boom, perfect.
I can't get it.
Oh no.
You can do it. Awesome.
Let's go.
Hey, nice.
Yes. I did it.
We're going to Kawagoe City, famous for its Edo period, ancient, looks like Tokyo 150 years ago, wearing kimonos.
Wow!
Everyone is going to get to wear kimonos. Our cameraman, Mr. Tom, lives here.
It's such a traditional and beautiful and colorful look. We have something similar like this in Nigeria, and this is so colorful. I love it.
どうですか？
めっちゃいい感じです。いい感じです。いい感じです。すごい綺麗。
かわいいっす。
You're so beautiful. Wait, I'm taking a picture of everything.
素敵ですね。ありがとうございます。いい経験ですね。ありがとうございます。
川越の総鎮守である氷川神社では古来から伝わる舞が特別に披露されました。
future leaders in your community.
その時にもそれぞれのお国の歴史や伝統を大事に長く続けていくということがリーダーの役割であるということを覚えておいていただきたいと思います。
So we'd like you to remember that the role of a leader is to maintain, protect, and help the continuation of the traditions, the values, and what's important to the country and community that you come from.
皆さんが立派なリーダーになることを心からお祈りしています。
We pray that all of you will become amazing, wonderful leaders.
街の散策は日本の高校生がリーダーとなって案内しました。
Two like this, two clap, one like this, and then I think. Keep bowing, and then hold. Keep bowing while I'm holding. Yeah. And then I can. Yes. Okay. Hey.
Amen.
Probably feel it like 5 months.
これもしたいかもしれへんわ。あ、これ俺やったことあるわ。マジで？その近くにある。俺な。末吉。
Oh, not too bad. And what about mine?
Oh! Okay. Japanese say
I'm the luckiest.
Ooh! Congratulations.
Thank you very much. ありがとうございます。There are many big garage and there. Okay, but yeah, it's here. Oh. ありがとうございます。Yeah, we need to hurry up.
My bag.
Can I like the ball? What did we else? What else did we say we used it for?
Say hello. After me.
夕食時には餅つきを体験しました。新潟県は日本で一番のお米の生産地で、昔から年明けにはお餅が食べられ、新年を祝ってきました。
新潟というのは非常にお米の美味しい地域です。
So Niigata Prefecture, the place where we are right now, is famous for very delicious rice.
なので今日は皆さんに実際にお餅を作ってみていただきたいと思います。
And mochi is a kind of rice that is sometimes called sticky rice, and it's pounded, and we're going to have an opportunity to experience making mochi or pounding the rice.
持ち上げて、
So we hold it up like this,
お米に向かって
and aim,
落とす。
and go down like this. So that's the motion.
よいしょ。
Mr. Nathaniel. She was so bad.
Oh, thank you.
Very good. She likes it too. I don't think you should record this. I'm like,
Oh my god, that's sweet. Good? Yeah.
毎年参加した高校生から好評となっているのが新潟県でのスキー体験です。この日の午後は明るい未来を作るために何が必要かを学ぶゲームを体験しました。翌日は日本の高校生たちがガイドとなって東京の街を案内します。海外の高校生にとっては初めて目にするものばかり。知らない街での冒険の旅はより深い友情が育まれます。
Hello everybody, how are you feeling? Feeling good?
We're finally at our last dinner together.
私の財団はワクプロ財団と言います。
The name of my foundation is the WakuPro Foundation.
ワクプロっていう意味は日本語でワクワクするプロジェクトをたくさん作ろうということです。
The name WakuPro means Waku, exciting, and Pro project. So it means to create lots of exciting projects. Thank you. Appreciation っていう英語もう最高の気持ちなので、その気持ちを言葉で言うと日本語はありません。感謝と訳されてもちょっと違う。So I want you to listen to something, and I'm going to explain this in both languages because the idea of appreciation is underappreciated, and we can be wonderful at it, but I want us to know what it is. So I'm going to explain this in Japanese, and we're going to do it together. The last thing we'll do together is appreciate each other. Could someone bring out the whiteboard? Just pull it out so that it's behind, and you'll see 3 words. で、みんなでお互いアプリシエイトし合うことで今日終わりにしたいと思います。Okay, so I learned this about 10 years ago, and it changed my life. The act of appreciation will create peace on earth, here and now.
段の生活では得ることのできない貴重な体験と世界中の高校生との友情を深められた6日間 PDWC 高校生パーラメンタリーディベート世界交流大会。世界の高校生たちがこれからのグローバル社会の第一線で活躍し、国や文化を超えた視点で平和なより良い未来を創造してほしいと願っています。